So I have sheep primarily on the farm for the role that they play in my permaculture grazing system. So they rotationally graze with the horses, as do our other species. As they're grazing, they're ingesting forage that the horses have left behind, but they're also ingesting eggs that may exist that will hatch out to be parasitic larvae that affect the horses. And the horses, in turn, do the same for the sheep. And then as they're rotating and they're going through, they're interrupting that life cycle. The wool is merely a perk. So let's talk about that. We have 4 Rami ewes at the farm, and we have 1 Shetland ewe. She's the one with the horns. And I filmed a little video for Instagram earlier about preparing the fiber that we had sheared last week for mailing off to the mill to be turned into yarn. So real quick, I thought I would share with you the process of taking the wool that has already been sorted and how we package it and get it ready to go to the mill for yarn. So during shearing, I collect the wool as it's being sheared off the sheep and I put it in bags. I sort it into 2 bags right away. I have the gross stuff like from around the bum, around the legs, under the chin, that sort of thing. And I put that in a scrap bag that gets used in the garden or what have you. Then there's the bag of the stuff that I want. And that goes in to a bag with the sheep's name. So that's acorn, that's cedar. These have already been boxed. Okay, so it's optional as to whether or not you want to skirt your own fleece. Skirting means that you unravel the wool and then you pick out all of the bits. Grass, hay, straw, whatever. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pay someone to do that for me. So what I do is I fill out paperwork saying I want skeins of yarn and the ply. I'm gonna do 3 ply, which is like the sturdiness. And I'm getting sport weight and I'm getting worsted, which I learned means that I can do a variety of things like sweaters and socks, but really we're just gonna sell this year. So all 5 sheep, everything gets bagged, sorted, put into these boxes, goes to the mill. They card it, skirt it, wash it, spin it, comes back to me. That's all I have to do. All right, fleece is boxed. I had roughly 10 pounds per sheep, which is kind of a lot. That's obviously very heavy for them. I also learned that when it comes to spinning the fiber, it can't be longer than 6 inches, just like from, you know, our scalp to the length. It's the same for where it touches the sheep's body to the length. You don't want it to be more than 5 or 6 inches, otherwise it's too hard to spin. So what that tells me, because my fleece length was about 5.5 inches, is that my sheep actually need to be sheared more than once a season. So we'll be doing like an April, May shearing, and then we'll also be doing like an August, September shearing. That way we can get that length a little shorter, easier for the mill to work with. And then the other thing is that they'll have time to fluff up in the fall before the cold hits here in New Jersey. So we'll do that going forward. Okay, so the fiber is off. The fleece has been sent and will be spun into yarn. Stay tuned. I will absolutely share the finished product. Usually takes months to get back. Could be 6, 8, maybe even more, depending on how busy the mill is. So stay tuned.